Howdy, 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 everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Story Time. We're doing it indoors today because it's raining and I have the headgear on. So, therefore, I do not have my Story Time hat on today, so I can have the earmuffs on. So, let's get on with this story. This one was a crazy one. This happened in the mid 80s. I was, when I was dispatching for the Delaware State Police, and this was weird how this happened. It was so crazy. Uh, I had a detective friend of mine who was a real big dude. I mean, like a big dude, and he was a detective. And at the time, he was in I forget the name of the unit. Basically, had to do with fraud and stuff like that. So somehow I get transferred a call to the dispatch center, which normally a call like this would have gone directly to the state police barracks. It in Delaware they call them troops. So there's different troops. Um, Different states call them barracks, what have you. But so I'm getting this call, and I get this call, and it was like I thought it was a joke. So I'm talking to somebody, and it was transferred to me, and they're explaining to me the story, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm being set up for this big practical joke. So what happened was down in a place called uh, it was kind of like it's called like the State Road area or Black Cat area. It was an intersection of US 13 and 40. Down in that region, there was a like a psychic reader type deal, and a lady had been going to this location uh, to learn about her future and stuff like that, and it turned very grim and dismal. And she's telling me she's been there numerous times, and basically they kind of like they started baiting this lady. They could tell she was an easy victim, an easy target. So I wish I could remember everything in total detail, but I'm going to give you the gist of it. And basically, they said something like you only have 6 months to live or something crazy, and but you need to do this, and they cut some of her hair, put it in a jar. They told her to put it in a pillowcase underneath her bed, and do some kumbaya prayer or something. I forget what it was exactly. And then they said bring it back to us in 48 hours or whatever, and they were going to analyze it. And then they're like, oh my God, it's so grim. This is not good. This is not good. We need to send this to India, to the Holy Land. We need to bury this. And um, they kept milking this lady, this elderly lady, of all this money because she thought she was doomed for death, and they were just milking her for all her money. So I ended up at first I'm waiting for the punchline, thinking someone's like playing a joke on me, because honestly I couldn't believe somebody could be that naive. And I didn't say that to the person, but I'm still waiting for like the big punchline, to like the big reveal. And then I realized it was serious. So when I called to Troop 2, and I knew that one gentleman in charge of, man, I wish I could remember the exact name of the unit. White collar, or not white collar, basically the fraud unit or something like check fraud unit. I think it was what it was. Anything fraudulent would go through them. So I call and ask for this guy, Mongo, real big dude, real crazy. And he and we were always playing jokes on each other. So I said, look, Mongo, like, I'm going to be transferring you a call. I know you're going to think it's a practical joke. It is not. Please do not drop any F-bombs or anything crazy. I said, this is not a joke. I said, this is serious. I said, you're not going to believe it. I'm having a hard time believing in it too. But I just want you to be aware. I am your I'm transferring this call to you. Please try and be respectful. So sure as heck, he didn't believe it. He thought it was a big joke. And turned out they did a major investigation for several months, and they were able to shut down some of these psychic reader locations because they were just scamming people out of their money, their life savings, because they were fearful for their lives, their future. I wish I could remember more details exactly, but it kind of went on and on and on. They needed $3,000 to send her hair in this jar to India. It had to be buried in holy ground and all this stuff. And it was just like unbelievable. And somehow, I'm trying to remember, it was like a family member or a friend of the family was the one that made her call. Like, no, I think you're being scammed. And that's basically how I received the call. I still don't know why. I was in the communication center, but the 911 center was the next room over. That was for the county and, the state police in that county. Somehow it got transferred to me. I ended up talking to her, which I'm kind of glad it did occur that way, because once I realized it was serious, I could at least clue the detective in and, prevent him from making look, himself and the Delaware State Police look like fools. But after a lengthy investigation, they did close down some of those psychic readers places, and it's crazy. And I was just on YouTube, and I happened to see a video, pretty much the same type thing. And it's sad. Like so many of these, there's tarot card readers and stuff like that. They just prey on your heart, your weaknesses, and they're very good at it. They're skilled at their craft, and even though it's not a nice legal craft, they can find ways to get money out of you. Not out of me, because I don't have any money. But anyway, so that's that, folks. I just thought I'd share another story time. Remember, folks, always know your legal limits. Try and say hi to a stranger. Help somebody when you can. And if you find time, learn about Reefs Across America. You can find that at JJ Drones channel, at JJ Drones, all one word. Thank you. Talk to you another time. Peace out. Respect the thin blue line.